I talk to so many technical professionals, engineers, architects, scientists. They do the work, and then one day they're expected to become a manager, become a leader in their organization. To do that, they need to communicate better. The challenge is, we don't know how. Well, in this week's Engineering Management Lessons video, I have the perfect guest to help you. Michelle Gladieux from Gladieux Consulting is the author of the book, Communicate with Courage. So, Michelle, our listeners are often in this situation, right? They are technical leaders. They do get promoted, or they're going to get promoted, and they need to communicate better, but they don't know how. We don't know what the first step to take is. What can you share with our listeners about becoming a better communicator as a technical professional? Where can they start?
Sure. Start with humility. Be an active learner that seeks out conferences, webinars, in-person training, one-on-one coaching, personality assessment. You're going to need multiple different avenues of information so that you can then begin to practice and try on new behaviors in the workplace. So it's really a matter of, I would say, get your head up. Lift your head up and look around you. Now that you're supervising other humans, they need two things primarily from you. They're going to need praise, and you're going to want to praise more behaviors that you want to see happening in the workplace than you do now. So look at what's good in the workplace. Look at what people bring individually and as teams, and praise what you want to see more of. And then you're going to also need to offer constructive feedback, and your folks will know it's constructive because you are building trust, and they know that when you offer any kind of criticism, you're not coming from a better than them place. You're coming from a place that you say, or that you show through the way that you live and work and communicate, that you're not perfect either. And we're all on this twisty road of communication. But if you happen to have supervisor in your title or in your job description, or coach, team leader, then it is your honor and it's your duty to help everyone around you with feedback by giving them praise and constructive criticism. And a lot of the studies in my field, organizational psychology, show that most humans respond best to leaders who use a ratio of approximately 3-to-1. 3 times the amount of praise to 1 part constructive criticism, let's say over a month. And I think about myself and think, oh my, if I'm doing my best, it might be 1-to-1, maybe 2-to-1. And if it's a crazy busy day and I have a million excuses, I'm sure for this behavior, it might be 0-to-1, where I'm only pointing out what my team could do better. So that's something I'm working on in myself, and I'm trying to remember that ratio. But if people would like a recipe, as we talked about, analysts often do really well with plans and process and recipes. I have what I think is a really impactful and fun 4-step praise recipe that anyone can cook up. It's on the website, gladieuxconsulting.com, under Coach's Corner. It's the first Q&A that drops down, and you'll see dozens of real life questions I've been asked after 25 years as an executive coach, and what I had to say to some of these great questions. And one of them was a gentleman who had walked around the corner and had heard a coworker say, John's a good guy. He's not really a praise person, though. And he wrote me and said, is it a big deal if I'm not considered a praise person? So I wrote him back and tried to keep things pretty calm, because it's not the end of the world. You know, this person wasn't claiming harassment, and it's not necessarily a really big deal, but everyone likes to be seen and recognized. Some of us didn't grow up in organizations or families where praise was readily given for earned accomplishments, or even just for trying our best. So I would suggest that we get better at praise.
And I think our listeners are going to love that you kind of gave them an equation for feedback, right?
4 steps for good, for good praise. Works at home
4
too.
Steps. 4 steps, and then the 3-to-1 ratio. So there's lots of numbers and stuff that they can grab onto there, which is helpful. And I think really big takeaway, I think, from what Michelle said here, is also doing it, taking action, right? Taking the first step. Start by giving some feedback, giving some praise. You just have to do it. I mean, you know, you can think about it all you want. You can review the equation and the steps and ratios, but you have to do it. You have to get together with people. The first few will be uncomfortable, but the more you do it, the better you'll get at it. And it's going to go a long way to improving your communication skills and really, you know, building up your leadership skills and your ability to help your team succeed, which I think is one of the biggest parts of leadership. So,
and let them know this isn't really comfortable for me. I'm working on being a better coach. And here it goes. And that really lowers people's inhibitions and worry about where you're coming from.
Yeah, and I think some people will also recognize that it'll be them one day too, right? That's going to have to be doing what you're doing, and that's going to be very helpful. So Michelle Gladieux, Gladieux Consulting, you can get some great resources on the website. Her book is Communicate with Courage. And Michelle, thank you so much for spending some time with us today.
Thanks, I loved it.
I hope you enjoyed this video. Michelle has given us some really good information, and I hope you can implement it into your career. If you enjoyed it, please subscribe to our channel here. We put out videos like this on a weekly basis to help technical professionals become better leaders. I'll see you next week.